listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.
Perspective, sometimes it can be hard to try to adjust to the fact that now you are in a position where you are responsible for who is listening to you, right? So I always want to keep things in perspective and understand that at the end of the day, we're dealing with humans, human beings, and humans are beings. So we're learning and we're growing. So some people adjust to that a lot easier. Some people know the responsibility they're getting. Some people come into a position, they're just like, I'm here now. I don't know what to do. I mean, think of it being a parent. You know, there are some relationships where, you know, the husband and wife get together, they wait till they're married, established to have children, and they've done research and talked to people and read books and stuff on parenthood before they got to having kids. And they come into parenthood with a different perspective than somebody who just got pregnant at 16, right? And so both of them are thrown into the same position of leadership and role model and being a parent. Now I'm responsible for a person here, but they're at two different places in life. And so the responsibility and their ability to cope with the responsibility is completely different. But at the end of the day, neither of them can run from the responsibility of what they have. Now it's just a matter of some were prepared on the front end, some are learning on the fly. And so in every area of leadership, which I believe every person walking earth is a leader in one way or another, some of us are just learning as we go. And so it's an elevated position. Some people thrive in it, some people don't. But we all gotta deal with it.
I like that. Uncle Ben said, where there's great power, great responsibility.
And every time he said that, he got smoked right after that. He never lived after he said that.
Being a man just alone is one of the greatest responsibilities. You a man first before you're the president, before you're the quarterback, before you a man.
I'm a man.
Come on. You gave an interesting perspective about Will Smith, him trying to prove his manhood and all that, and being broke in the process. And at the epitome of success, it fell apart. Talk to me about that, Luke.
Well, I try to look at everything with from a perspective, right? One thing we know, especially as believers, a lot of times we look at the end result of things and say God is pleased or he's not pleased with it, right? Sin is sin. Yes, it is. But God is also interested in the process that led somebody to getting to the point of where they did whatever it was that we finally judged them on, right? And so when that situation happened, I had a lot of different, I wouldn't say emotions because I don't care, but a lot of different thoughts on, well, what led to that moment, right? And so as we were talking, I was just kind of walking through some of the things that I was thinking. Now, honestly, I don't know what that man was thinking. I'm not going to say that what he did was right because it was wrong. He was dead wrong, right? But I also believe that as a society and as a culture, we really don't care about people's mental health like we say we do, right? It's only relevant when it's good for the conversation for us. But just to sit back and think from an overall perspective of looking at Will Smith's life over the last couple years and what we've seen one of the top, most respected men in his field over the last few years go through some things that if we put ourselves in his shoes, how would we have reacted, right? So for the last few years, he's been telling us, you know, his insights to him and his wife's relationship that I don't believe he wanted to tell, right? So if you look at their situation where whether they're swingers, whatever they are, I'm not going to go into that. But if their agreement is, hey, we do this, we do what we do with whoever we do on the side, but we keep it on the hush. And now it's got to a point to where, all right, your thing that you got on the side is running his mouth. You don't know how to control him. And so now all of a sudden, I got to be brought to this red table to sit in front of all these people and have to deal with things I really don't want to deal with, but because I'm trying to protect you as a husband. Because at the end of the day, like you said, I'm a man first. As a husband, I'm a protector. So if I could put myself in that position, I could see feelings of being angry towards her, but not wanting to express those feelings of anger towards her because I had to protect her still, right? Even if it means protecting her from me. So on one end, I'm protecting her from what I'm feeling and what I really want to go out and do. And that's probably not healthy anyway, because I gotta eventually in a relationship, you have to have those conversations and get that stuff off. So on one end, I'm dealing with this. On the next end, I'm still trying to protect you from your view of what people are saying outside of here. So when I go on this red table and the things that are being said are making me look stupid, right? Now I'm a meme. There's pictures of me all over the internet with tears in my eyes. I'm a real man, like emotionally dealing with something that I've been made a joke over the entire world when my entire persona has been, I'm the Fresh Prince. You know what I mean? I'm the guy. Like there's no cracks in my armor anywhere you look because the way I painted myself to the entire, world. And so now I'm dealing with protecting you, also being ridiculed on behalf of you. On top of that, in the back of my mind, I also said in interviews that I had a problem with the relationship you had with Tupac back in the day, and I'm still dealing with that. I just wrote a book talking about how I'm trying to get over that, and I also deal with the insecurities of being a protector because as a kid, I saw my mom be abused, and I didn't do anything about it. So mentally, all these things are going on, and he's just been dealing with this quietly for 2 years while still putting on the face and laughing at the jokes and everything like that. So at the moment that this happened at the Grammys, not the Grammys, what was it? It wasn't the Emmys, it was the whatever it was, Oscars. Yeah. At the moment that happened, when he screamed, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth," I can see that not being him yelling at Chris Rock, but yelling at the world. Right? Like at this point, he's getting all those emotions out. Chris Rock just happened to be the straw that broke the camel's back, right? And so, and then after that, to still have to deal with the backlash, because now you look even more foolish, right? And so, I can see a world where I can see mentally how a person can get to that place to where they snap and lose it. Was the whole point of our conversation, right? Is it right? No, it's not right. But I also believe that there should be some things done to help people before they get to that moment. Because I also believe that as believers, and not just believers, as society, we're a judgmental society. As soon as something happens, we're trying to cancel you, right? But all we saw was the result of something that's been building up for years. Not just for the past 2 years of his relationship. This something's been dealing with this man since he was a kid, just coming up to a point at one time. And now it's boom, he's an idiot, he's this, he's that, he's that. The act was idiotic, I do believe that. But I believe the act I believe what happened could have been handled better, right? I'm not saying he shouldn't have protected his wife. I'm saying I believe what he did could have been handled better if he hadn't had all this built up to this point. And so there should be some more care about people getting to a certain place in life, because when people lose it, then all of a sudden they're crazy. But no, God cares about the entire process.